Hey everyone, the question I have been asked is how does one boost their self esteem? I've been asked this question a number of times, and I can't speak on everybody else, but I can speak for myself, and I'm more than happy to share with you guys how I boost my own self esteem. But before we get down to that, I want you guys to understand that it is not something that happens overnight. In other words, it's something you have to keep on working at and or on, and it's not something that you ever stop working on. As far as I'm concerned, I believe that you definitely become less conscious that you're doing it, but I think that it's important to be aware that you need to take care of yourself, how you feel about yourself, and feed yourself with positivity and with light. And yeah, so the four factors that I've identified with, I'll name and then I will talk in more detail about them. So the first one is media, the second one is people, the fourth, mental health, and the fifth, physical health. So let's talk about these in more detail. Okay, so on my personal social media pages, all of them actually, I follow lots of plus size models, bloggers, other plus size pages, designers, photographers who shoot for plus size, other publications, and so on. The point I'm trying to make is that every single day that I'm on social media, I'm constantly being confronted with images of plus size models and what's going on in the plus size industry. And for me, this is so much more than just me recognizing and giving support to all this work, but it's also my way of reminding myself that beauty doesn't have a size. It is very personalized, but even more so, this is my way of unteaching myself what I had bought into, which was beauty looks like that really skinny woman on the cover of a magazine or on billboards or the lead actress in a movie or whatever it may be. That is my way of reminding myself that these women are just as beautiful, they're just as worthy, and it makes me feel good. I don't know how else to explain it. It makes me feel so good because I can relate to these women. I can relate to um, the big breasts or the big bottoms or the big thighs or hips. Those are things that I can relate to. And I mean, I look at these women and I have to be very honest. I think they're absolutely stunning. So surely if I can find beauty in them and in what they're doing, I should be able to find it in myself. Who you surround yourself with is also a really big deal. And I'm in no way saying that you need other people's validation, but it definitely is nice and it affects you positively when you're around people who celebrate you, who are supportive, who are constantly giving you or feeding you positive energy and light. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's constantly fat shaming and fat talking because you're already facing your own insecurities and dealing with your own demons. So to constantly be confronted with somebody who is doing the same and is reminding you of your or what you consider your flaws, it's not fun. So surround yourself with people who contribute positively and who will remind you and who will call you out when you fall into that habit or you start fat talking and fat shaming or just talking about yourself negatively. Somebody will be like, this is not what I'm here for. First of all, you look fab in that dress. Second of all, we're not doing that today. Um, that's the only thing I can recommend. It's as simple as that. Surround yourself with people who bring positive energy and light and be that person too. Help your friends celebrate themselves. Be positive. Call them out when they're the ones fat shaming and saying things that are uncalled for. Now, with health, it is extremely important for fuller figured women to work out just like everybody else. I'll say it again. Fuller figured women have to work out just like everybody else. I cannot tell you guys what it does for me personally when I wake up and I start my day out by just going to the gym, I'm there about 3 or sometimes 4 times a week, and just releasing that extra tension and that stress, and those happy hormones, but also getting myself fit again, being active. There's been such a big change in my body. I can't really describe it, between when I started working out and before I was working out. So work out, ladies. I promise you, you've got nothing to lose. Work out. Find what it is that you can do and what makes you comfortable, and work at that. And then keep pushing yourself. Build that fitness tone if you need to. Lose weight if you need to. Whatever your reason for going to the gym or working out, let that be personal, but do it. It's just important. Do it. And then there's also your eating, your personal diet. I cannot tell you what you should and should not be eating. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. Those are things that you have to figure out, and every person is different. But what I will say is that I'm not into these quick recommended diets. Nope, I don't do them. I prefer things that I have designed for myself, or things that just seem realistic cost wise, and also just doable. Don't tell me I can never eat junk food again, because that won't happen. But I'm a strong believer in moderation over deprivation. So it's all about that, balancing yourself out. So finding out what works for you physically in terms of working out, but also how you can change your lifestyle, eating better foods, and that again also helps you feel good, certain foods. So figuring out what works for you, and going along with that. Okay, and then you get your psychological health, which is all about how you think and feel about yourself. Um, for example, there's nothing wrong with saying, I want to work on my arms to tone them up, or I want to lose weight on my stomach or on my thighs, tone them up because I've got quite a bit of cellulite. Whatever it is, you are allowed to want better for yourself. You are allowed to want to be the best version of yourself, whatever you think that may be. But in doing that, and in thinking all those things, do not forget to acknowledge and celebrate the things you do love about yourself. Um, Remind yourself that you look absolutely amazing in swimwear, or you love the way your butt is so well rounded, or you love your smile, or you love. Constantly feed yourself with positivity too. Don't make it all about the stuff you don't like. And work on being okay with saying it out loud too. It's so crazy how when somebody asks us what we don't like, what we'd want to change about ourselves, we're very quick to answer. But when someone asks us what we do like or what we wouldn't want to change, we have to think about it. So focus on those things that you absolutely love about yourself, and constantly put it out there. Even if you have to talk to yourself, do it. Even if you have to stand in front of a mirror to remind yourself that these are the things I do like, do that. But speak kindly about yourself to yourself, and think about yourself in a positive light as well. Um, all of that does matter. It does make a difference. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And even though this page is specifically for full-figured women, this post isn't. This is really for anybody who wants tips and tricks in how to boost their self-esteem. Just remember those 4 factors that I mentioned, which was media. So following pages that inspire you and make you feel good and speak to you. People, surrounding yourself with positive people, people who uplift you, bring positive energy into your life, and people you do the same to. Physical health. If you look good, you feel good. Work out, get that fitness level up, go and release all that tension and all that stress, as well as psychological, taking care of how you think and what you have to say about yourself. Be kind to yourselves, guys.